and welcome, I'm your Code Monkey. Here's a super quick video just in case some of you are concerned. Recently Unity had some layoffs, which always sucks. Over 600 people were let go, or about 8% of their workforce. In response to that, some people were questioning what this means for various things in development. I tried to ask Unity which specific teams were affected, but out of respect for those people, they kept that information private. And some big news is Mike Acton, who was a very important person on the tech side, was apparently either included in the layoffs or at least left around the same time. For those of you who don't know, Mike was one of the big data-oriented guys that was brought in several years ago to really push Unity Dots. So with him suddenly leaving, people were concerned what this means for Dots. Is there some trouble on that team, or are things still going according to plan? And I'm guessing in response to those concerns, the Dots team made a really nice thread on the forums, talking about the current state of Dots and just having tons of people that are working on the team introduce themselves. It's fun to see the background of all these people. It's also varied, everything from indie or AAA console devs. There's even some microchip engineers and astrophysicists. Basically lots of people working on Dots, so it's still very much in development. It's a real nice thread, many comments from both Unity and other developers, some questions and a bunch of answers. Up top here is Laurent, who is the main product manager in charge of Dots. Then here is Joe, which is the director on Dots. And here is a post related to Mike. Laurent here says that Mike moved on to other projects about 10 months ago, so Joe has been leading the Dots engineering effort since then. So it appears the layoffs might not have affected the Dots team. For some specific questions, here is one on the Dots animation package. This one has apparently been in the works for quite a while and is hopefully approaching completion. This is a pretty big thing, so it's great to see this is going to be the next major deliverable. I believe this means after 1.0. Then a question regarding Project Tiny. This was a fun project which was a way to take advantage of a data-oriented design to make super tiny games, like literally just kilobytes. That project is apparently on pause until the Dots core is done and more things are added on top of it. Another question on Dots visual scripting. This was a tool that existed for quite a while, way back in the beginning, but since then it was paused or stopped. The answer is pretty much the same thing, so the focus is on stabilizing the ECS foundation before moving on to more things. Another question with regards to WebGL and Dots. Apparently right now there are some issues with those which are currently being worked on. And in terms of timeline, here is the first post by Laurent. He says the plan is still to launch Dots 1.0, the final version of ECS, with netcodes, graphics, and physics, and the plan is to launch that alongside 22 LTS. Usually the LTS version comes out around April or May, so I'm guessing it's really close. And I'm assuming that version will indeed have a big Dots 1.0 banner. Personally, I haven't looked into it myself since I made my big tutorial after the 1.0 preview, so I'm definitely looking forward to doing some research and seeing how much of that tutorial is still up to date when the final 1.0 is out. Another excellent post on this thread is this one by Andrew Parsons, who is the marketing side of Dots and ECS. Here are a ton of resources all about Dots, and these first two are really great. One of them is on the game Heroish and the other one on V-Rising. Now what's great about these two is these are examples of real games using Dots already in production, meaning that even though 1.0 isn't fully out yet, it's already stable enough to work with and ship. For a complete Dots project, here is a nice 2-hour tutorial made by TurboMix Games. He also made another video recently talking about what has changed since this video. Then the GDC roadmap talk, where they talk a bit more about the main plan for Dots and how the goal is to get the core stable and released and then afterwards build upon it. Next here is one that I've been meaning to look at. It's a free course on Unity Learn with Dots best practices. I definitely want to make sure that I go through this one before I make my next tutorial. Then you've got Discord, multiplayer Discord, the forums, and the web pages. So even though Dots isn't out yet, there's already tons of info around. So go ahead and check out this thread if you're curious to see the people working behind Dots. If you have any specific questions, you can post them in this thread and get answers from the team themselves. For my part, I'm looking forward to Dots 1.0, and I can't wait to see all of the unique games that this technology will enable. So this was just a quick video to let you know about this nice thread and that Dots is still on track. Also stay tuned for tomorrow's video, which is going to be super interesting. And now I'm gonna stop working for a bit and go play a bit of Zelda. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.